and welcome back to the Daily Runner Show. I'm Claire Ganifke.
And I'm James Shannon. With only a few weeks left in the semester, students have become more focused on completing their final projects and ending the semester strong.
But in the midst of these final projects and exams, Regent University is still as eventful as ever. This past week, we just celebrated Student Appreciation Week, in which every day there was a special event dedicated to show appreciation to the students here on campus.
Tuesday was Tie-Dye Tuesday. Students came out to the lawn in front of the Student Center and tie-dyed a t-shirt. The event was well attended with over 40 students coming out to participate.
This week, we also celebrated Sunday on Wednesday, and it was the cherry on top of the week. Student Services provided an ice cream sundae bar for students, and it all happened on Wednesday afternoon.
Thursday was God's Special Star, and of course Friday, the Strawberry Feast, featuring strawberries and chocolate, an all-time favorite. This was a great week, and it was designed to show appreciation to the student body, especially with finals right around the corner.
Last week, Lily shared the art of preparing a simple chicken dish. It's incredible how something so simple could look festive and taste delicious. So let's find out what's popping in Lily's kitchen this week.
Hi, and welcome to today's episode of Cooking with Lily. Today we're going to be making a broccoli bacon cheddar quiche. So we're going to start out, we have half of an onion that I'm going to chop up in a minute. We also have a few cloves of garlic. We've also got some bacon, so that's about 5 slices of bacon that has just been chopped up with scissors. 1.5 cups of cheese, usually some sort of sharp cheddar with another cheese. I've got a little bit of Parmesan in there. And then also about 1.5 cups of chopped up broccoli. So I'm just going to start out by chopping up this onion here into small pieces. And get the skin off. Alright, so now I've got that done. We're going to cut up the garlic, and I've actually already preheated my oven to medium heat for this pot over here. And we're just going to throw in the vegetables and let them soften up a bit before we put them in the quiche, because there's nothing worse than crunchy broccoli and onions. And also, I've got some fresh thyme here, an herb, a lovely herb. You don't have to use fresh herbs if you don't want to, but I tend to like the taste better. So I'm just going to take the thyme stem and peel all the leaves off. You don't want to get any stem in there because thyme stems are not yummy. And I've got probably about 6 or 7 stems I'll use in here. Great, so now I've cut up my onion and I've cut up this thyme and the garlic. What we're going to do next is move over here to the oven, and we're going to put in all of our vegetables and our bacon. I'm putting in about 1.5 to 2 tablespoons of butter into the hot pan so that it can start to bubble down. And thyme can go in right away. Thyme is an herb that actually does better in oil than in water or than in steaming. It actually cooks better. So turn up the heat to medium and let that cook away. Alright, well now our onion and garlic and our bacon are cooking away. We're going to come back over here, and I've whisked up 4 eggs, and then we're also going to put in 1.5 cups of combined milk with cream. I'm going to add in about a little less than half of that is going to be the cream, and then the rest I'll top off with milk, so that'll add up to about 1.5 cups total, maybe a little less, because sometimes you'll have a little extra. And next, we've got to whisk all this up. Make sure your eggs whisked up before you add in the milk, so it can make it very complicated to stir. And then I've also got a tablespoon of melted butter. And then I'm going to put in some salt. So probably about half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of salt, and some pepper as well. And then I've got my 1.5 cups of cheese. I'm going to add most of that into here. Most of it, and just leave some because you'll want to sprinkle some over the top of the quiche when we're cooking it. So now I'm gonna add in our broccoli. And right now it's gonna stop cooking away the same way it was. It's gonna start to steam actually, because all of this broccoli being added in. You can hear a different sound, kind of like a that means it's steaming, which is good for the broccoli. And you're just gonna cook this until the broccoli is soft but still has a little bit of bite to it. And now this is about done. So our bacon is getting a little bit golden around the edges, it's darker, and our onions are really soft, and then the broccoli has turned bright green and it's a bit softer than it was. And I am going to dump all of these vegetables into our pie shell. I have a pie shell that I put into the oven for only about 5 minutes on 400 so that it can bake a little bit beforehand so the bottom isn't all soft and mushy. And then next we're going to pour over our egg and milk mixture with the cheese. And it might not all fit in, that's okay. Okay, yep, it's dripping. Ah! Alright, don't watch that. Don't watch. You didn't see it. You didn't see anything. It's okay. Alright, our quiche has been in the oven for approximately 20-25 minutes, and I sprinkled some cheese over the top, probably 3/4 of the way through. I cooked it on 400 for the first few minutes, probably first 10 minutes, and then put it down to 375 for the last 20 or so. So now our quiche is completed and we have a lovely piece right here. But today we actually have a special guest with us. James Shannon, our anchor.
Hello, Lily. I've heard so much about your show, so I had to come by and check it out.
Well, I'm glad that you did. And today, of course, we have a piece of quiche with your name on it.
Thank you so much. Now, how do you eat a piece of quiche? Do I just use my fingers, chopsticks, or...
I will get you a fork. Here you go.
All right.
Might be kind of hot.
Wow. Wow. This is like a very awkward moment. So, Lily, yeah, thanks for having me over for your quiche today.
Oh, you're welcome.
And I'm going to take this with me.
Okay,
All
sure.
right, see you.
And please join us next week. So just check out the website, facebook.com/cookingwithlily. Hopefully we'll see you then.
Wow, that looks delicious. Every time Lily cooks, it makes me want to try something new. As Lily continues serving as an RA and full-time student, she always makes time for hospitality.
Last week at the Film Corner, we previewed Titanic 3D, which was very engaging. It's always interesting how many popular movies come out in 2D, and then you see them in 3D. Let's find out what's going on in the Film Corner this week.
You are a toy!
Run, Forrest, run!
He's looking at you, kid.
Hello, and welcome to the Film Corner. My name is Erman Brady, a CTV undergrad here at Regent.
And I'm Zach Solberg, also a CTV undergrad here at Regent University.
This week, we'll be reviewing one of the most controversial documentaries of this year, Bully.
My voice is not going to fall silent. I will go to my grave until a difference is made.
We reached out to parents that have lost kids, parents of kids that are being bullied all over the world, and it took off like wildfire.
All it takes is for one person to stand up.
Be the difference. Go out and find that one child, that new kid standing over there by himself. Be willing to stand up for him.
Everything starts with one and builds up. Eventually we have an army.
If we all do it together, we will change the world.
The film Bully is a character-driven documentary that follows the lives of 5 children and families throughout the course of one school year. Stories include two families who have lost children to a suicide and a mother awaiting the fate of her 14-year-old daughter who has been incarcerated after bringing a gun on her school bus. With intimate glimpse into homes, classrooms, cafeterias, and principal offices, the film offers insight into the often cruel world of the lives of bullied children. So, Orman, how'd you feel about this one?
Now, Zach, for this film to work, obviously you need a bunch of characters who would actually interest the audience. I felt that the director did accomplish that. At some points, I felt that the story was more story and no resolution.
I noticed that also.
It was very frustrating, actually. But I think over time, I began to realize that the lack of resolution was actually less of a flaw for the movie and more of a reality check when it comes to bullying. With that being said, the director also followed characters who also were basically outsiders looking in.
I see where you're coming from.
Were the teachers, the principal, the parents who did not have any answers when it came to bullying. So I thought that was very powerful.
Yeah, Orman, believe it or not, I actually expected to see more bullying documented in the classroom environment.
Good point.
They show you the aftermath of how bullying affects the parents, how bullying affects the kids after school, but I didn't feel like they showed you enough in the classroom. And more importantly, they didn't ask the question, or I didn't feel like they asked the question as much as I wanted to, why? Why does this happen? Because we all know it's more than the cookie cutter response of, kids are just cruel at this age. We know there's more to it than that. And I think the film just gives a depiction of bullying, but it doesn't go deeper into why do kids do this? And so I guess I wanted more questions asked. Why do kids do this to each other?
Zach, originally my main qualm with this film was the validity of the documentary itself. At some points you saw the bullies looking at the camera, then hitting the characters, and you kind of question the morality behind the filmmaking. Did these kids hit the students based on the camera being there? I did a little research though and found out that the filmmaker did use small cameras, so that's forgivable. So overall, still effective film.
Yeah, definitely. I think why it ends up being so effective is because I think everyone's been in this situation. You watch this documentary and everyone can relate to it because everyone at some point in their life has been bullied. But I don't think that's what the point of this film is supposed to be. I think they're just trying to show you this major problem in the U.S. and that it needs to be solved as soon as possible. So overall, solid film. What would you give it the grade?
I think it had really good intentions, and I think it did ask questions. So I would give it a solid B+. All
right, I'm giving it a B, very similar to you. I think obviously we both thought it was a solid film, B+, B, and I think that about wraps up the Film Corner. And until next time, we'll see you at the movies.
Across campus, Regent University has student organizations representing all different backgrounds, ministries, political views, and interests. Some of the organizations have a political emphasis, while others have an interest in ministry. Nonetheless, there is certainly something for everyone.
One student organization that has had a tremendous impact on campus is the Religion Club, led by Dr. Lyons.
I'm delighted to say a few words about the Religion Club. I've been involved with the club for nearly 5 years now, and the club exists as an opportunity, or to give students an opportunity to have more time with faculty, talk about important issues. We say that the club provides a forum for informed Christian discussion about important topics of the day, events of the day. By informed, we mean we usually select something to read, everybody in the club reads it, and then we come together to talk about it. So it's not just ad hoc, but rather it's a little bit deeper discussion. And it serves as a nice complement to what we do in the classroom. We always hit topics that there's not enough time, there's more questions, and the club allows us, affords the time to go in deeper. We meet every other week, Wednesday afternoon from 3:30 to 5. In the ordinary, depending on what room is open and so on. We like to take trips. We've been to see the Dead Sea Scrolls exhibit. We've gone to the Chrysler Museum multiple times for different exhibits. We've gone to New York City to see the King James Bible exhibit. We go to Jamestown, Williamsburg, and there's other trips in the planning for the fall. And I like the club because it gives me time to visit with students and to hear their questions, and I think they like it because it gives them time to interact with different faculty who come to visit, sometimes a special presentation, ask special questions, and so on. So we'd love to have you join us.
Well, thank you so much for joining us again on the Daily Runner Show.
Join us next time to find out what the buzz is around campus.
I'm Claire Ganifke.
And I'm James Shannon.
And from all of us here at the Daily Runner, we hope you have a fabulous week.
Take care.
At our School of Communication and the Arts, we're very excited about partnering with other entities on campus. Right now, our government students are working with one of our professors there, researching public policy issues. Then we've got student teams working on content that illustrates those issues, whether it's internal, external threats, economic issues, and then depicting those issues in drama, in interviews, through narrative interviews, one-on-one, man-on-the-street kinds of interviews. Then we depict those issues. They're neither left nor right. They're right down the center, talking about facts. Here are the facts, here are the concerns, and then we illustrate them. And we do that, gives the students research opportunities to research facts, and then our creative students in our cinema television area to illustrate those through dynamic storytelling content. So then they actually then have a package of material that they've actually done on a very important subject. We partner with the law school recently in the Global Center for Social Justice at the law school. So excited about this because the law school took the lead in establishing a symposium which we hope will become annual. And in that symposium, it was titled Media and Social Justice. We looked at issues involving children, the legal protection of children, human trafficking, hunger, those kinds of issues that are social justice issues. And the entire thing was kicked off at our beautiful theater, and we showed a number of organizations work, snippets or cuts from their videos. We had a video called Sex and Money, another full 15-minute story alone that depicted a drama of human trafficking. And then we even had the team from Invisible Children, and you know that Kone 2012 video went viral. I think it's the most watched YouTube video ever since the existence of YouTube. I think 400 million at this point. I believe I'm right on that. That's an incredible number that illustrated children being forced to go to war, orphans and so on. It's a terrible story, compelling story. Well, we collaborated with the law school. I see a day when we might have joint degrees in law and journalism at the grad level and other kinds of those joint degrees. We already offer a minor in minors at the graduate level, but joint degrees similar to what Columbia does in New York at the School of Journalism. They have joint degree in journalism and law, for example, that they can get quickly. We're talking about maybe someday having a fast track undergrad going all the way to grad school, so that a student coming in for undergrad can just go seamlessly right through to the grad program and finish sooner rather than later. We're looking at maybe doing that. So really we are excited because across our 8 schools, 7 originally, and then with the undergrad school of Regent's School of Undergraduate Studies, 8, then we collaborate together. Once a week the deans are meeting with the executive vice president, and our goal is to serve our students well, to make sure they have the very best teaching in the classroom and teachers, facilities, etc., in the best way possible. So we really want our students to become successful in that way.
Again, I tell you that if 2 of you on earth agree about anything you ask for, it will be done for you by my Father in heaven. For where 2 or 3 come together in my name, there I am with them. There was once an old man who, laying on his deathbed, called his kin together and gave each one of them a short, sturdy stick. He then instructed each family member to break the stick. With some effort, every person finally snapped his stick in half. The man then said that this is how it was for anyone who walks down the path alone. They can easily break. The man then handed each family member a new stick and told them to put their sticks in bundles of 2s and 3s. Once they had done so, he instructed them to break the bundles in half. However, no matter how hard they tried, no one could break the sticks. For when the sticks were put into bundles of 2s and 3s, they were impossible to break. The man finished by saying that we are strong when we stand together, for there is power in unity. It brings people together to share, grow, and strengthen one another in power and might. A bundle is always more powerful than one left alone. So it is with the body of Christ. More than anything, Satan desires to separate us and isolate us. He desires that we would use our words to destroy those very people that the Lord has brought into our life to encourage us. Satan also knows that disunity will destroy the church. However, when there is unity, when there is power and strength, for even zebras and other animals know that if they stick together as a herd, they have a better chance of survival. And I really believe that God is calling us to unite together as one school representing Christ. He has given each individual a very special gift that brings something special to the table. I pray that the Lord would continue to bring that peace, rest, and unity to a place where Satan is trying to bring confusion and unrest. For whenever God starts moving, Satan offers a counterattack. However, this just means that we as the body of Christ need to start battling harder. However, when we unite together in one spirit and truth, there is nothing that can stop us. For what Satan meant for evil, the Lord is going to turn around and turn into something wonderful, beautiful, and even meaningful. And I would just encourage each and every one of you over these next couple of weeks, as the semester comes to an end, to remember that God has given each of you a very special gift. He's given each of you a very special talent, and He wants to raise you up, and He wants to utilize that gift. He doesn't want you to compare yourself to other people. He doesn't want you to look at other people and try to be someone that you weren't meant to be, because there's a special calling on you that only you yourself are able to fulfill. And so I just encourage you to seek the Lord and ask the Lord exactly what it is He has in store for you, because it's something good, something wonderful, and it's going to change your life and other people's lives as well. Thank you so much for joining us on the Daily Runner Show, and I look forward to sharing with you next time.